Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 2, Episode 4. Alright. It's a couple things I wanted to discuss in this thing. I don't know if I might do a scene by scene or I just might talk about different topics. Alright, so let's just talk about Letitia and Melanie situation right now. Y'all know they had a big fallout last week. They wasn't in good terms. What I got from Melanie and Tisha is that they was good friends, but all of a sudden it just fall apart. And Melanie feel like Letitia has not been very supportive, as she says she's been doing. And Letitia feel to say that Melanie hasn't been supportive in being there. So they both keep saying they're not really supportive. And it seems like they both is done with each other. It's like there's no point of repairing this friendship because they're not caring. Now, one thing Melody just said that was kind of like, because I remember last season she was like that. People haven't been reaching out to me, and I'm going through things. I would love at least like the phone call. I would at least like the text. I would at least like that, and I didn't get that much. Now, she did something that, she did say that when she was going through some things and everything, and I don't want to feel been bothered and stuff like that, she was constantly calling, and say, "Oh, you okay? You okay?" And it's like a constant reminder that I don't want to be going through it, so I don't really want to be bothered. But you did say you would like people to reach out to you and see how you're doing, and you didn't feel like the people wasn't reaching out to you, see how you were doing, are you okay, and everything. So what is it? You want people to reach out to you, or you don't want people to reach out to you too much? And then that's what I get, because I was like, all right, you say you want people wasn't reaching out to you, and nobody wasn't there for you when you need their help. But then you said that you don't want somebody to keep calling you and constantly asking you, "How are you okay? You okay? If I'm here for you, all that stuff." It's a constant reminder. So what do you want to like not to be bothered? Do you want to be bothered? Like, what is it? What's the common ground? Like, it's a stipulation. How many times? Like, if my friend is going through something, yeah, I was like to send a text or call. I said, "How you doing? I'm here for you. Want to talk?" or something like that. But I also understand that some people like to have that distance. Like, some people don't like to be hound by people phone calls. They shut texts out. They shut callers out. They kind of like respond to people. So I understand some people. There are people are like that. But you know your friend if your friend is like that. So, but in this season, in this show, Melody has been saying that nobody hasn't been reaching out to her as much. But then she came here this episode saying that the teacher, whatever, was constantly calling, and you don't want nobody can constantly hitting you up while you're going through some things. So I distance myself and stuff. So, but Kimmy is in the middle because she both friends with Melanie and Tisha, and Kimmy not trying to pick sides. She's just trying to tell each side a different perspective of what they tell her. It shows like maybe the reason why she was like this because it was more of you doing this and you wasn't as supportive as much, or you wasn't showing actions. It was different. So I got from that Letitia and Melody is not tracking for each other right now. Letitia said it's for the season. Melody friendship could be this. You know, people's friendship is all through a season for a reason, and then it's for a lifetime. She said, I had a friendship with Melody for a reason. It was a season, then it's done. There's no future. I said, okay, so you done. Melody said she don't have no words for Letitia, so y'all just don't have to talk. But they all agreed to go to this cabin trip with Sodoric is planning. He's one of the new couples with his wife Adaria. Is planning this cabin trip to get the friendship back together. So I'll say, okay, we'll see. So we'll see how that goes between them. And I find it funny that Letitia, right? Cause all last season, it's like seemed like Letitia was a prude when it comes to sexual things. She was too experienced. She didn't know things. But the cabin trip, she was so excited. She had mad sexual gillies. She had the thing. I forgot exactly what kind of toys come out, but it was mad sexual stuff. It was this thing, it was that thing, that thing. Kimmy said, "Oh, cause Kimmy was the experienced one." She was like, when they went to that sex store, something like that, got to nothing. Letitia and Melody didn't have any sex toys and like that. Figure Letitia came with a whole bag full of goodies for the cabin trip. Like, we want to spice it up, we want to have some fun and stuff. I said, "What the hell you doing, girl?" I guess you think your mom told you got to you, cause you said, "Listen, your husband gonna do that. You better make sure you freak your husband in here on the regular." So Letitia took that in her heart and said, "Listen, I gotta get all these sex toys and stuff like that. So we gotta have a good time for this weekend." I said, "Hear that for right? If no TV, no freaking internet, we might have to do something shit for fun." So So I was like, wow, Letitia. But that was that. Now, the open house, the only interesting thing about the open house is that the host sold one of the two houses that they had built. Remember, because it was supposed to be two houses that the combat group supposed to be having, supposed to be facilitating and getting through it. But the host had been spearheading it. They fixed and ground up the house and doing it well. Before the other house got in the open market, it got sold that quickly, and it got sold for the higher market value that they was tended for. So they said it's good. So the one of the houses got sold, so the other one is in. And the one interesting thing about this open house is that we was introduced to another couple that the couple had Melanie and Martell had a confessional talk about. Just like so Darvika and Daria, I think Letitia and Marceau had a confessional talk about them. Or was Kimmy and Maurice. I think it was Kimmy and Maurice. I think it was those two. I think Kimmy and Maurice talk about Sadaric and Daria. And no. And then Melanie and Martell talk about this couple, Novelle and Andrea. We didn't get that much about them, but they part of the one of the three couples, because on my last video, I put a digital link of that thing, of the new couples. So watch that. Watch episode 3 review, and you get that link to the three couples they're trying to introduce in the show. How involved would they be? We don't know, but we'll see how it goes. But Novelle and Andrea was introduced briefly in this episode. About the open house, it was like, did they ask them if they want to sell? They said no, all that stuff. So Maurice and Martell talking it back, and it wasn't much. I mean, Maurice was trying to get information why Martell has a problem with his brother Marceau and how it is. Martell feel like he wasn't been supported by Maurice. Marceau hasn't been given much good advice in marriage. Hasn't been supportive and stuff. Lying, he don't own the truth about war fall bound for the 46 acres. He been lying, saying that I'm trying to buy something or steal something, and I was like, whatever, steal the land. And Maurice said, you can't steal something when you haven't been able to sell. And he said, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Tell him so like that. So I was like, oh, okay. But Maurice did try to say, listen, we got this cabin trip. Cabin trip is impossible. Can y'all can just talk and get on the same page and work out this stuff. And Martell said, yes, it's cool. It's possible to talk it out and see how it goes. No guarantees, but that's what it is. Marceau said last week he willing to repair his friendship with Martell. So hopefully Martell could repair his friendship with Marceau and see how they could go from there. But we'll see how that happens, how that goes. Alright, so the one major thing I did want to really talk about was Maurice and his ex-wife Kyle and his son Master. Now, we all heard Maurice say he wants his son full time. He wants his son full time. His son is going to middle school. He's becoming a man. He should be with me for full time now. He discussed it with his ex-wife. I guess when he discussed it with his ex-wife, they was on board that when he was younger, the mother would take him more. And then when he started becoming a man, when he got teenager stuff, he would be with Maurice. But I see that shifted and that changed since Maurice got remarried to the new woman, Kimmy. And maybe the ex-wife has a problem. And maybe it's the distance that he moved away from where they was at into Huntsville. So that could be an issue as well. But it's more to that, just having him moving away and go to the father. Now, especially if y'all discuss it, I wouldn't see no issues. But I do believe the kid does need both his parents close by to each other to get raised. Even as a teenager, you just can't just have just one parent. You need both, because that's a crucial time where you need both parents at the same, in the same page, right with you in that process, especially as adolescents. Yes, you do want your father there more present because you're doing a puberty, going through changes, it's more stuff like that. Yes, you need more male presence, especially around that teenage adolescent years. But yes, he does need his mother as well. So he had a FaceTime with Kai, and she said her problem was mainly because she said the mother needs, I need to be next to my son. Is like it's not your child, it's not my child, it's our child. We need to do what's best for our child, and the fact is uplift the child from here and to go over here. You when you just moved away, it's not like you was in the next city, it was okay, but you miles away. So the mother need both, the child need both of us together, and it's hard to separate from me from the child. So I understand that. Yes, I have my things, my baby. Yes, your mother, mothering instincts that you don't want to be separate from your child, all that stuff. So I understand that. So that's understandable that she don't want to be away from her son for that long. But if you had to discuss it before, then what's a problem now? Now, I don't think it was so much about, maybe the distance could be a problem, but I don't think it was so much about the distance and the milestone being with his father. I think the problem that Kai is having is that she had unresolved issues with Maurice, and that bothers her because her marriage didn't work out with Maurice, and Maurice remarried, and Kai's gonna be married too. She got a husband, so I don't know why she's, I don't know what's going on, because it is saying this episode she's married. So if you married, why you still have this issues with Maurice when you moved on too and he moved on as well? So what is the problem? And I think I did get it, is that she has a problem with Kimmy. That's the more issues with it. It wasn't too much about Monster being with his father. I think it's about Monster being with him with Kimmy. And that's the issue, because I think Kai and Kimmy didn't really get along at first. And Kimmy's a nice woman, and she demands respect. If you're not giving her respect, she's not gonna give you respect. And I think Kai demands that as well. So a woman has a hard time adjusting and trying to get in the same board and the same page, especially you have to insult to each other. So it has preconceived notions and assumptions between each other that it's hard for them to work it out. So I guess that's why she has a problem with Kimmy. And it's always had a problem when it was since last season when she found out that Maurice was marrying with Kimmy, and she did not like that at all. And seemed like she had an attitude. So we'll see how that goes. I want to know, they do need to meet, because I do understand what Maurice saying. Maybe y'all need to get together and have an understanding, because y'all never really have sat down and talked to each other. It's always been this misconception towards each other, and y'all never really had a face to face, so you be all getting on the same page, so you can understand and hash out the differences. So he had a bright idea. He said, you know what? How about an idea for me to go to my son? Y'all move close to Huntsville. Y'all move to Huntsville. So what I said one time, maybe I can get you a plane ticket with you and Zave to come to Huntsville and visit and see how it is, and maybe y'all can move down here. Kai said it's a possibility. Just check, it's a possibility. But I was like, if that's his motive to have his son close to him full time, if she moved to Huntsville, then I would say that's something. And I said, you're supposed to run that with your wife. You didn't tell your wife before you asked the ex-wife and her husband to come to Huntsville and see if they can move down to Huntsville. I was like, oh snap, there's gonna be some problems. And I understand why it will be a big issue. And Maurice's sister Millie told him that. He said that was a dumb idea. If you have some stupid ideas, please run by me first. And he said, why do you think it's a dumb idea? And I do understand where Millie's coming from, because she said, because Maurice is a mature man. And sometimes as adults, yes, you want to get that mature status and handle things as mature adult way. But not everybody, like Millie said, is in that level. Not everybody is very mature, can handle things and say, you know what, it is what it is, how we get this, the goals. People focus on the emotions and stuff like that, and not the overall content. So that would not, any business y'all would have with each other was not get resolved if things is not being handled. So she was telling him, it's like, when he told her that I asked Kai and Zave to come down here and come visit Huntsville, maybe to move down here, she said, why? Because at the end of the day, it's not about the co-parenting as much. She said it's bigger underlying issues that she had with you that is problem causing between you, her, and Kimmy and all the people involved. So she was hoping that her marriage would work. And since that marriage didn't work out with you, she harboring some feelings towards you moving on. So that could be an issue why she is pushed back towards Maurice with her son, using her son, and also the fact that she really don't care for Kimmy. So that needs to be a sit down. But I also don't understand why he would rush to the decision and try and not talk to Kimmy first, and then try to get them to move down there like that without even talking to Kimmy. So I was like, that is crazy, Maurice. I understand you want your son and stuff like that, but you need to evaluate everything and you need to think this through. You didn't think this through. You don't irrationally, and you was quick to trying to handle a situation when you should have been more careful and thoughtful and precise, clear planning and handle every party's involved. All right, so we'll see how that goes, but it seems like it'll be well because we already know how Kimmy feels because she said she's already been raising her son all by herself, so she don't want to be stuck raising another kid by herself when Maurice is so always busy doing law school, going to school, taking the bar exam, all that stuff. So it's a lot, and he basically puts down on her, put a lot of pressure on her to handle these things while he's away doing things, and so she gotta be stuck home raising another kid, and she don't want that, especially if you have Monster full time. So it's like she really feeling it, and she said she wants to live, let her live her life, and I do like Kimmy to live her life. I said, yeah, she raised her son. It's your chance to raise your son. She loved Monster, but at the same time, she don't want to be taking the responsibility and being a full time mom, a single parent mom to your son while you always away. That's too much for her. After she would express her feelings towards that, so we'll see how that goes. Right. All right. So Marcel and Letitia's home. So Letitia is working on a podcast. I said, "Oh, now Letitia's doing a podcast." I said, "You doing something, girl? All last season you would have to fight to get a job. Now you got a job. Now you trying to do a podcast. You trying to be a superwoman, hell." So she should do a podcast. He said, "What you doing?" He said, "I'm doing a podcast." He said he tried to be supportive and try to let her do things like that, but I don't think how all this works. I said, you don't need to understand how this works. It works with, you got a happy wife who want to build herself up. She want to build her goals, how be self-sufficient, to contribute more to the household, not just being a household woman, wife, and a mother. She want to do more. So it's not much you can understand. It's just basically a woman who want to contribute to the household more than just being a wife and mother. So it's like, that's sad. So you don't need to really understand it ain't that rocket scientist freaking rocket science Marcel. It's not that difficult. So he said he would try because she wanted him to be the first person she interviewed for a podcast. I said, oh, okay, that's cute. So then there came a knock on the door, and freaking Letitia's mother came. Now we understand Marcel is not happy that Letitia's mother would be in the house because you know Letitia's mother, she is all not in the business. She will freaking find out, and then you have another person, extra eyes and ears in the house. You can't do what you want. So now he has his wedding ring on. When all that last couple episodes of last season, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring, which was kind of suspicious that you won't wear your wedding ring when you're supposed to be married. All right. Which I understand when you're on a trip, you really don't want to wear your flashy wedding ring, but you need to have it on. Shit. But but Letitia didn't talk to Marcel, so that's the problem Letitia had. You should have talked to Marcel and say that you was gonna have your mother stay in your house for 2 weeks. It didn't tell your husband. You need to tell your husband, like, understand you want your wife, your mother to help you out with the kids, especially going on a cabin trip and stuff. But you should have talked to Marcel about that first. And maybe not having her staying at the house, and maybe somewhere close by, or you could drop the kids off to the mother house, like Marcel said, and she could take care of the mother at her house, and take care of the kids at her house, and then till y'all come back, or till y'all ready and stuff. And that was that. So the mom came, and she's in there, and Marcel was not having it. So he put Marcel put Letitia in the room, and he said, "What's going on? Why he didn't tell me like that?" She said, "Oh, I wasn't meant to tell you." I said, "Yeah, right, you ain't want to tell." And everything, and she said, "Yeah, oh, she's staying here for 2 weeks. I need help. You said that, whatever, do what you gotta do. But Lawrence, you gotta get things done." And until she got things done, she called her mother and get the help. And her mother's gonna be here. So I don't think she should have stayed in the house. But yes, a good help now and then would not be a problem. Would not be bad. Maybe stay out 1 or 2 nights, but the whole 2 weeks. I'm not even telling you Marcel, so that's That is kind of crazy. So I do feel for Marcel with this. But I'm gonna say Marcel, okay, whatever. So he was talking to the teacher, and then the mom came. She said, "Oh, what you? I want to know what y'all doing there here." And I was like, "Oh, the teacher mom." And she said, "Oh, I see you wearing your wedding ring, right, Marcel? Uh huh." And I said, "What's going on?" She telling me you got some 20 different girlfriends. I was like, "The teacher mom." And he said, "What?" And he said, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" She said, obviously told you or something like that. You don't even know this is that. Well, the problem is that I heard, right? So if I heard all I say, yeah, you right. It's like he wouldn't argue with her that much. So it went out. The teacher and the mom went out, and he came out. And he said, "Oh, you come there, something like that." She said, "Well, I'm something in my house and things." Oh, whatever. I'm gonna go upstairs and pack my bags and do what I gotta do. I said, "Oh, snap." So, Warsaw is not happy that the mom is there. I said, "Oh, okay." So, Melody talked to her mother, and basically the mother didn't know. She said, "Oh, I did not know you was going through all this stuff." So Melody was like, "Oh, we going on this cabin trip, and oh yes, we going together, but he gonna sleep in his own room." So the mom said, "Why he would sleep in his own room and all that stuff?" And then she said, "Maybe we need to have the kids go upstairs and let them play or something like that, because we want to have this conversation in front of them." Because she never did was say that. She said, "Oh no, he's going upstairs. He's gonna go on the cabin trip. He's gonna sleep in his own room." And she said, "Oh well, he sleep upstairs in the house, so we gonna sleep in his own room at the cabin trip." She said, "What's going on?" She said, she told him the whole spiel about the woman. And he said, "Oh well, is either he need to get checked or she need to get checked." That's crazy. But she had no idea. And then also Melody went to talk to her financial advisor because it was advised to her to go talk to a financial advisor. So she going to Dr. Childress that she knew him for a long time. And basically, Dr. Childress just told her that maybe we need to work it out and try to see if it could be repairable, because he would say sometimes men lose the opportunities of details. Like they don't say I love you as much. They don't remember things. They don't shower you gifts and stuff. They usually do that as before you got married or when you got married. They stopped doing that. And she said, "Well, he does all that. He buy me flowers. He take me out to eat. He do this. He do that." I said, "He does all that. So what you gonna do all this for, Melody? We know if he cheated." But if you're gonna defend him and say he doing all that, then it could be some repairable situation. Cause the mom said, "Well, it's kind of hope if you have him staying upstairs." She said, "Well, I don't know, something like that." I was like, "Oh, so he's trying us to work it out." And then she was the whole time rant about how this generation people don't want to work it out and so stick it out to it, which is true. Cause back in the days in the marriage, sanctified marriage, people do work out their marriage. They fight tooth and nail when it's to the point where they can't not deal with it anymore. That's what a lot of old generations stay married for 50, 20, 30, 40 plus years. And that's why they stay a long time, because they stick through the good, the bad, the worst, the amazing spectrum of their relationship. They stick it out. Now these days, people don't want to work it out as much. It's like every little small minor thing, they wanted to get divorced and leave it out and don't want to deal with it. It can be small petty thing at best. They break up for those petty things instead of handling the big major milestones that y'all need to get to the same page. But small petty things, y'all just ready to give up the whole relationship, and that's how it is now. It's more happening now than it was back then. That it's like, "Oh, ain't no work it out." So I said, "Okay, Melanie, we'll see, we'll see." All right, so Martel went to talk to the therapist, and basically we find out he was raised in a single parent. I think he mentioned that before. He was a single parent household. His father was not in his life. His father was incarcerated when he was 2 years old. So he never really had a representation of what a good man is and to be a good father and all that stuff. And he got kids and he's married now. So he said, just because you present doesn't mean that you're present doesn't make you a good effective father and a good effective spouse. He said, yes, that's true. That's true. I said, "Oh, I guess you realize that, right?" So Martel said he needs to work on things. He needs to work on not being lustful for other women and working on bettering himself. I said, "Okay, we'll see. We'll see, Martel. That's all I can say." And that was that. That was Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. That was good. I can't wait to see next week. And tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think about this episode between Letitia and Melanie. What y'all think about Maurice's idea and having his ex-wife and her husband moving down to Huntsville so he be close to his son. How do you feel about Martell and Marceau relationship? How do you feel like the mother coming to the house for 2 weeks and the teacher didn't tell Marceau about that? I will see how y'all feel, but please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to y'all later, alright? Peace.